Hey everyone, it's Chris, and it's been a hot minute, but we're back with another OCR short. I don't know what the schedule is going to be for these going forward because, to be honest, my mental health is what it is. I've been in a less than fun season, so I do want to get back into the habit of doing these. It just might not be the bi-weekly schedule that it was before. And I don't just want to put stuff out. Now, in a way, that's what I'm doing today, but I actually have put some thought into it. And it's also like, hey, you know what? I'm doing this because I'll be honest, I'm in the process of trying to come down off of an anxiety attack or redirect the energy a bit. So I thought, you know what? It's been a hot minute since I've done an OCR short. Let's do one. And this is actually inspired by a couple different things. One is while I was on vacation, I had the chance to, when we had some downtime, read the odd but awesome Spider-Man manga. Almost through it. I think I've got about 7 more issues. Now I know not everything from the original run got adapted into English, so I think it's missing about 6 or so issues. But I've been enjoying it, and even though there's another Japanese Spider-Man that I much prefer, the manga Spider-Man is still excellent in its own right, and I think that one's more palatable for Spidey fans than, say, the Toei Japanese Spider-Man, because that one's such a drastic departure, whereas the manga Spider-Man is quite traditional. Still different, but it's a much more traditional adaptation. There's no Leopardon and giant robots, and Spider-Man's doesn't call himself the emissary of hell and shoot people. Japanese Spider-Man is awesome. The other thing that's kind of inspiring it is I finally got my Mayday Parker Spider-Girl, oh my gosh, Spider-Girl Funko Pop, and I just like doing these ranked videos. To me, they're harmless because it's strictly opinion. It's all subjective, and as much as on some of these, I might be like, no, I'm right. It's also, at the end of the day, like, hey, look, this we can all enjoy this stuff, but it's not anything I'm gonna get very angry over, and we shouldn't. And we need some levity in our nerd circles and nerd properties. So we've done a ranked on the Enterprises. We've done a ranked on live action Batmobiles, and we've done a ranked on Power Ranger suits, my favorite ones. At some point, I might do my least favorite ones, but and the final thing that's inspired it is I recently got to replay through the excellent Insomniac Spider-Man video game and Miles Morales video game. So Spidey's been fresh on my mind. And I got to watch No Way Home on the flight again, and it's dope. So that just led me to, you know what? I'm having an off day. Let's just do a video, and we'll rank some Spidey suits. Now, the caveat I'm also going to add is this isn't just Peter Parker Spider-Man. This is also going to be the Spider Fam. And I'm limiting it to 10, and then there's going to be some honorable mentions. And the reason I'm limiting it to 10 is because Spidey's been around since, I believe, the 60s. There are a lot of suits. Now, the other caveat I'll add is some of these images that you'll see aren't necessarily the original suit itself, but a good representation of the suit that I'm talking about. So let's kick this off. So number 10 is the suit from the end of No Way Home. I really dig this suit. This is a great representation and probably my favorite live action version of the classic Spidey suit. The shade of blue is excellent. The red is great. The balance is awesome. The emblem standing out the Ray Spider emblem is an excellent nod to the live action Spider-Man movies with doing that, but it still stands alone. It's not as embossed as the other ones are. like if this suit were to show up in the final fight, it would still stand out, especially because the eyes are smaller than the other ones. And that's actually like a huge thing for me. For live action Spider-Man, I prefer the eyes, especially if they're going to be that white, to not take up like half the head. I don't know why. I'm just particular about that. If there is further MCU Spider-Man, which I want, I actually want all the Spider-Man now. I hope they stick with this suit. They've been switching it up every movie. I really hope they stick with this one, at least for the next flick, because it's a really good suit. Next up is number 9, and number 9 is probably one of the most recent additions to the Spider Fam, and that is Silk. Now, her introduction to Spider-Man notwithstanding, because it was a weird introduction, because now I'm fine with the origin of like the spider that bit Peter Parker also bit someone else. I'm fine with that, and the different powers I think is cool, but it was the aspect of like, hey, they can't keep their hands off of each other because of spider pheromones or something. Not the best. And the original suit, and oh my gosh, that's terrifying. I actually really hate spiders. They terrify me. But the original suit just being like a bathing suit webbed onesie, I didn't really care for it. This suit, on the other hand, I really, really dig, and it's very unique, which is actually quite difficult with the spider suits. There are other Spider Fam characters where their suits are too much of an homage to what came before, and having those homages, that's fine. But when it's like, oh, this is just that exact suit, or just slightly different, it's not my favorite. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule that you'll get in the honorable mentions, but by and large, I prefer the suits to kind of stand out. Having the homages is fine, but it's rare that you actually get like a unique original Spider Family suit member that's not just like, oh, the classic Spidey suit, but with just different shapes or color shades. That being said, again, exceptions to the rule, which we'll get to. But this suit I really like. I love the black and gray, the black and gray with the webbing. I love the bandana mask being red, the emblem on the chest being red, and the fingers. The color scheme is great. This gives Silk a very unique look, and also when you look at this suit, you know, like, okay, this is going to be a spider-powered character. It's not like some of the Jessica Drew stuff where her suit was spider-esque, but then her power bases are like, oh yeah, I shoot lasers. Like, what? Anyways, next up is, now Steve will tell me I'm a 90s fanboy, but I just really dig this suit. And there's been other spider armors that some I think look awesome, others not as much. But this one is, I love the color scheme. It only appeared for, I believe, 1, maybe 2 issues. But it stood out, and I think part of it is the color scheme. Now, this image is from the excellent Insomniac Spider-Man game, but again, that game is awesome, and this is a great representation of the suit, and it's my favorite version of this suit. And this is the Spider Armor Mark 1. I love the simplicity of it. I just love the, like, this makes me, this is before, like, Parker Industries, where Peter would be able to afford to get, like, a really, really good spider armor suit. So it's a very DIY one, and even though this is sleeker than the version you got in the comic, I just really dig this. I dig the color scheme. I dig the metallic look. You could see this as one like he suits up for a tougher battle, or he'd bust out when he's injured. I don't know. I just really like this suit. And that's how some of these are gonna boil down, where it's like, I don't know what to tell you, I just like it. All right, so next up is my number 7. Now, I know some will be like, this is way too low, but again, opinions, blah, blah, blah. I still really like this. And when you look at the echelon of Spidey suits, like, hey, number 7 out of like 50 is still great. Number 7 is the look that's inspired by the classic Ditko Lee run on Spider-Man. I've always dug this suit. I dig the darker shade of blue, the red. The balance is great. The wider white eyes in the comic works as much as I might not want that in the live action. And I've always been a fan of the underarm web. They're nicknamed web wings, and I think in Welcome Home that helped Spider-Man glide a bit. And I don't know. I've just always dug the look. I know that's the second one in a row I'm ending with that, but I mean, there's not really much else to say. I just really, really dig it. Next up is number 6. Now, earlier I said there's different Spidey suits where they're a bit of the classic one that just with a different color scheme or different shapes, and I don't always like that. But like I said, there are some exceptions to that rule. Number 6 is one of them. This is what I call the classic Miles suit. And the reason I call it the classic is because he, I believe, last year, got a new costume, which I'm not a fan of. This one, I really, really dig. I'm a sucker for black and red, especially when it's done well, but the all-black Spidey suit, now, black Spidey suits, when they're done right, are awesome, but with the red, it's unique, it stands out. Miles has been a great character. The reason for the suit being different, especially from a comic book story, made sense, because at the time when Miles was introduced, Ultimate Peter Parker had died. Miles was rocking the classic Spidey suit, and I think Ultimate Jessica Drew was like, yo, this is disrespectful. So this was his stamp as his own Spider-Man. Clearly an homage to what came before, but something unique. I wish in many ways that, like, at times you understand why there's going to be a suit update. I mean, friggin' Batman has had how many different suits? But this is one where I'm like, this should be the basis for all of Miles' suits. And I've got some in the honorable shout-outs that are based, like really based on this. I'm just a sucker for it. And I like the diamond aspect. I like the all black. I like the red. This is clearly Spider-Man, but clearly a different version. And I really, really dig that. Number 5 is my favorite live action movie Spider-Man suit, and I know that's going to catch some flack because a lot of people do want like classic comic book Spider-Man suit on the big screen, and I get it. But this has just been my personal favorite one from one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. No Way Home is my favorite. Amazing might be around number 2 or 3 now, and I recognize it's got its flaws, but it's still to me a dope movie, excellent cast. Garfield, best live action Spider-Man. Fight me, you're wrong. But yeah, the suit from The Amazing Spider-Man. And again, you can say what you will about the film. I really, really dig this suit. It's clearly Spider-Man, but it's a bit unique. It lifts from a couple different Spidey suits. There's a bit of an homage and a consistency with the Maguire Spider-Man movies, but it's still different enough. The yellow in the eyes is unique, that it stands out from other Spidey suits, live action or otherwise. The fingers and the gloves remind me a bit of the Ben Reilly Spider-Man suit. I dig the darker blue. To me, this is my favorite live action suit. I don't know what else to tell you. I just really, really, really dig this costume. Now, this picture is a recreation from like one of the end shots from the film. This image is from the remastered PlayStation 5 version of the Insomniac Spider-Man one. And it's my go-to suit when I play that game. I've got like 3 or 4 that I rock consistently, and this is my main go-to. All right, so next up, we are now in the top 5. My number 4 is one of my favorite Spider-Fam characters, my go-to Scarlet Spider. Sorry, Ben Reilly. Kane Parker. His Scarlet Spider suit, again, I really, really dig this. It is different enough that it stands out. It's still very much in the make of the classic Spider-Man, but having it be all red with the exception of black on the shoulders, the gloves, the head, and the emblem, and the back, that makes it stand out. I really like Spider-Man suits that are able to stand out and kind of be their own. Kane Parker became a great character. I really liked his solo run and the stuff where he was showing up in the resurrected Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider run. I dig this. It's different enough. Kane Parker is like, I don't want to just be like, oh, it's the edgy Spider-Man. He is like, he's willing to do things that Peter Parker isn't. So that adds a dimension to him. And if you want to do a Spider-Man tale with a Spider-Man who's willing to kill, Kane's your guy. I dig that. And this suit works for that. It has a darker aesthetic, a more aggressive aesthetic, and Kane is an angry fella. I really dig the suit. This is another one of my go-to in the Insomniac Spider-Man games. Next up is number 3. Number 3 is Spider-Gwen, aka Ghost Spider, and I think she's had another name as well. I love the character. I love Gwen Stacy in her original incarnation. I love what they've done with Spider-Gwen. She had a great moment to shine in Into the Spider-Verse, and then her suit is just, to me, freaking awesome. The black with the blue, with the purple, with the white, with the pink. There's a lot of colors going on. There's more color than your traditional Spider-Man suit, but it works. It stands out. It all flows together so well. I also love the hood. I love that there's the hoodie, and it's much more of a functional one than the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider hoodie, which has its place. And again, I'll also say the Kane Spider-Man is an upgrade from the Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly one. This suit is very unique. It hasn't been an alternate costume for Spidey in the Insomniac game or any other games yet. I do hope that with more Spider-Man games, we'll eventually get either Spider-Gwen as a playable character, or, I don't care, make this suit wearable. It'd be dope. It's a dope suit. The blue for the sneakers, I keep forgetting is there, but it works. It stands out. There's a lot that's really cool about the suit and Spider-Gwen as a character. Number 2 is my favorite Peter Parker Spider-Man suit, and other Spideys have had the symbiote or a black suit, but this for Peter Parker is my favorite suit. We're looking at the symbiote / black suit, because when Peter's also had a version of the suit that's not the symbiote. It's basically his go-to suit when he's really upset or angry. But it's such a departure from what came before, and it just really stands out. Just the simple black with blue highlight, with blue highlight, and then the spider emblem across the chest, all white. This became the Venom suit, and when Venom became his own character, he still kept this. Heck, when Venom went to Scorpion and then later Flash Thompson, and a couple other people, it's still the basis was the black with the white. It works. It stands out. It's always a suit that's in high demand for video games and other things as alternate skins. It is a fantastic suit, even with its simplicity. And I think that's what's unique about it. When you see this, you know you're still seeing Spider-Man, but you know you're seeing something different. Always loved this suit. And this is from the excellent 90s Spider-Man cartoon. And another great version of this one was from the outstanding Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, where it started like the black suit from no one's favorite Spider-Man film, Spider-Man 3, although there are people who are like, no, that is my favorite. Well, you're wrong. And then as the suit corrupted him more, it became more of the classic symbiote suit. Loved that arc, loved that show, loved this suit. And my number one is actually my number one favorite is my Spider-Man, my favorite Spider-Man. This is the classic Miguel O'Hara Spider-Man 2099 suit. This stands out so much in comparison to every other Spider-Man suit. This really made Miguel his own character. Like, when you looked at this, you don't know, like, even though it's like a spider skull, it's different. It grabs your attention. It really stands out. This is another, like, my go-to in the Insomniac game. The blue with the black, the little bit of black highlights, and then the red spider skull emblem, and then the red on the mask. The eyes look different enough. The suit looks different enough. Miguel is such a different Spider-Man than Peter, Ultimate Peter, Kane, Miles. Like, Miguel is such a great character, and this suit, it even started just as a Day of the Dead costume. Like, it was something he just tossed on. And Spider-Man 2099, that original Peter layered run, I love this suit. I love it. It is my favorite Spider-Man suit, and I can't wait till we get to Into the Spider-Verse 2, where we'll get more Spidey 2099. All right, so those are my favorite mix of live action and cartoon and comic Spider-Man / Spider-Fam suits. I do want to toss in some honorable mentions. First one, of course, goes to Japanese Spider-Man. It's very much your traditional spider suit, but it's got enough unique differences. I like almost the angry eyes, the extra bracelet, and that's where he got the spider injection with his spider powers, and he yells, "Spider string!" and it comes out of there. The suit ejects from there. He's always rocking that bracelet. And then we got Leopardon in the shot, because how can we not have Leopardon? Then another one I do want to shout out, the Ben Reilly spider suit. I really, really dig this suit. It was 90s, but it worked. It was a departure from the Peter suit, but it was still enough in that fam. And I also dig the gauntlets with the webbing on the outside of the outside on the wrists. It helped make him stand out. Mayday Parker, as you'll see in this one, she adopted not the exact same suit, but a version of it, and her suit was very inspired by Ben Reilly's costume. As you can see here, and Mayday is a great character, and I really dig her spider costume. But of course, not to draw too much attention to it, but we saw it with Silk, and female comic book characters, they just make very, very curvy. We'll go with that. Little too much. Anyways, then another shout out, even though it's not my favorite Spider-Man run, although I've heard people talk it up a bit, so I might check it out more. The Doc Ock Superior Spider-Man suit with its majority black with the red color scheme is interesting. This is, to me, I see a bit of the Miles suit in this, just more inverted, and to make look like classicer Spidey. Say what you will about the run, which actually has a number of fans. The excellent Geek History Lesson has really talked this run up, where originally I wrote it off and now I kind of want to check it out. This suit is dope. And the final ones I want to shout out are the 2 Miles suits. This one is inspired by I believe it was a one-off. It was Spider-Man: The End, or Miles Morales: The End, where it was an older Miles. This is from the Insomniac Miles Morales spin-off game. I just dig the suit. It's got the classic Miles suit, but then you've added some dope pants, some boots, and a sick Spider-Man jacket. Like, I actually really want this jacket. And then, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out the Into the Spider-Verse Miles suit. It's very DIY, very dope. It's original, but still clearly Miles' suit. All right, so I think I've said the word suit and spider enough times. I hope you enjoyed this video if you made it through 26 minutes. I hope you all are being safe, staying cool. Have a great day. Let me know your favorite spider suits. God bless, my friends, and take care. Peace!